Hello, I'm General Waffles of the Breakfast Brigade. Today I'm bringing you a build video for Johanna that I call the Social Butterfly. I call it this because instead of saying that she's going to kill a merc camp or take them over, recruit them, she actually says, let's befriend these mercenaries when you ping them. And that's where I got the idea for the name. As you can tell, it mostly focuses on taking mercenary camps. So level 1 I want to pick up that knight takes pawn. It does more damage to mercenaries and minions, as well as the important part of a 5-second stun. Now, this will help me not take damage against the mercenaries, and that's going to be a big part of taking camps, is taking as little damage as possible so I can grind them down. And this build is going to mostly focus around me being able to take merc camps without losing damage, and you take them pretty quickly once you get up to level 13 and can pick up that Burning Rage. But for now, level 1, not so great at taking merc camps, and I just need a lane with the team. Knight takes pawn is still really good for pushing a lane. Doesn't do anything against heroes, but we're not focusing on fighting heroes, we're focusing on fighting minions. Now this build is pretty good. It's not an optimal build for sure, and you really only want to take it on maps that have a lot of minions. This map in particular, it's very good because the objective focuses around taking mercenary camps. The more camps I can take, the more coins I can get, which means the more of the objective we can get off. Now we can secure a kill on Diablo, well, Tyrande and Murky secured a kill. And I just kind of walk back and get a drink. Now once I hit level 4, that's when I'm going to want to start going after those, at least the smaller camps at first, and try to move up. Level 4 I'll be able to use my Condemn a lot more. For now I'm just trying to keep them off of this, hoping to group with the team, and shouldn't be too much of a problem. Just because you're focused on taking mercenary camps doesn't mean you shouldn't participate in team fights. You still want to be in team fights when possible. But if you don't need to be in a team fight, then you should probably try to take a camp. Now we're about to hit level 4, so I head over to this coin camp. Coin camps are pretty weak in general, and with Knight takes pawn I shouldn't be taking much damage. Now I'm going to take up Eternal Retaliation. For every minion that's hit, or enemy in general, that's hit by my Condemn, it reduces the cooldown by 0.5 seconds. This helps me get the cooldown faster so I can deal more damage, but more stunning. Now, Crusader has a blind that helps her take camps with less damage as well, and against the siege camp you really want to wait till they actually get up and start attacking before you use it, or else your blind is just squandered. Right now it's not so important, but a lot of her damage is AoE, so when you're auto-attacking you kind of want to rotate your auto-attacks and have everything kind of die at once, because you're trying to stop everything from attacking you and taking less damage, and the more enemies there are, the faster you can get your Condemn cooldown back, and you got your blinds to help you out, your passive. Now, I'm going to be wanting to try turn in these coins as soon as I can, because I just don't want to be walking around with them in case somebody comes and tries to gank me. They do have a Nova on the team, and she could try to hunt me down if she sees that I'm collecting a lot of coins. So the less coins I can have on my person, the better. And this is where I learned that Knight takes pawn does not affect Anubrak's beetles. Does not stun them. Only minions and mercenaries. Here, I'm kind of anxious about this move. They're kind of gathered right there, and Nazebo's down here, and I just don't have very much health or mana to work with. I ended up popping my passive a little bit prematurely, but I didn't want Diablo to throw me around. He ended up doing that anyway, and kind of put me in a bad position. Nubrak coming in to make sure Diablo can get away. And then, well, I just think it's a really good time to turn in. I think everyone's distracted, but Nova's right there. And my passive is going to help me just walk away from the situation I need my team to come in to clean this up. Yeah, I've managed to get away. I'm just going to get a drink from the... I can't get a drink from the well yet. And I don't know what Nova was doing, but she came back. I don't know why.
Excellent.
Anyway, you pick up battle momentum because the more time, the faster you can use your condemn, the faster you can use your shield glare for the blinds, the faster you're going to take mercenaries and the safer you're going to take them, and it lowers your cooldown. You're going to be constantly attacking. And as you can see here, I'm doing that auto attack rotation where I'm hitting each of them every time. That way they kind of die together, and I keep as many of them as alive as possible to lower my condemn for them. Falstad dying off on his own. And Tyrande coming in, murky, harassing her. Doesn't look like she's gonna get away from this one. Diablo will probably get away. Except Murky is just so persistent with his slows, and it's so hard to just get Murky off of you, especially when you got a Crusader backing him up. I probably could have died there, and it wasn't the right choice to mount up, but I did anyway.
Let's befriend these mercenaries.
And there we go. We need to make some new friends in this map. You know, those friends give us money because they're rich, and we like money.
Very well.
But first, let's just turn in some of our coins, because we do have 6 coins on our body, and it'd be horrible to just drop them. Then, you know, go after them mercs, make some new friends, meet some people.
Let's get to the fun part.
Now these mercs you can actually blind right away. I kind of mess it up because I then throw the stun out, but the bruiser camp is just so easy to deal with as Johanna when you have this particular build, because there's so many of them that you can basically keep a perma-stun on them. Level 10 always varies. Falling Sword's good if you need initiation, and I just think that the other ultimate's better, the Blessed Shield, in most situations. But if you really need that initiation, or you really want that escape, then you take then you take the Skyfall. I basically took it so I could get away from people if I ended up in a tough spot, because I'm roaming around a lot by myself, and they have people like Nova that can hunt me down. And I want to make sure that, you know, I wasn't dropping, you know, 7 coins at a time. Yeah. But level 13 is where this build is really going to kick off. This is where I believe Johanna becomes her character in general. This is where you get Burning Rage. I normally don't ever take anything else because Burning Rage is so good at doing damage. Johanna's really good at not dying, and when you don't die and stand around people, then you just do damage. It's really good with Johanna. Now, we do have a bot, Tyrande, right now, and it's causing a little bit of problems. Their team is kind of deathballing around and killing off our teammates, but I'm just focused on these coins. I'm really trying to pull the win out this way. I don't want to be trying to fight them. You know, just clearing these camps, putting the pressure on the map is going to make it harder for them to stick together, and it'll just free up our team to split push. Like Falstad right now, he's just pushing mid. Nazebo's been split pushing. Murky, he's a really good split pusher. It's a really good team to have when you're doing this particular build, because there's going to be so much pressure on the map. Now here you can see how that ultimate can really just pay off. The problem is that it's a delay, and the other ability isn't a delay, and that usually just makes a world of a difference, unless you just needed to initiate. Alright. Now here we are, level 13. Burning Rage. You can take down caps extremely fast. It's just insane how quickly you can do camps. And then if someone tries to hassle you like Diablo, you got your passive to back you up. You shouldn't really be taking damage at all against mercenaries once you've reached this point. You're going to kill them way too fast. You're going to have too much crowd control. I mean,
I go.
it's just so hard for the enemy team to kind of deal with. Especially on this map where there's so many camps. And any damage you do take is usually mitigated by the fact you get a healing globe. Yeah, we missed the chest. We got the bottom chest. I'm just going to head up here and take some bruisers. And just so much damage coming out. And they have not yet hit me with the combination of blinds and the condemn. I have not taken any damage against this camp. And it's nearly dead. I do end up taking a tiny bit of damage. But I did not want to blind them again. Looks like the false dad went down. Really, we have not been winning the team fights for the most part. Like, we won that one team fight, and we were kind of winning at the beginning, but the fact that we have a bot is really starting to weigh heavy on our team. And them deathballing versus, you know, me splitting off, and our team kind of just generally being separated, is causing some problems. With this build, it is kind of dangerous to do because you're kind of abandoning your team a little bit. You're kind of not there for your team as much as you may need to be. Sure, you're generating that pressure, but if your team isn't able to hold their own or isn't able to stay safe enough, it won't matter that you're taking camps. However, I do have the added benefit of this being the Blackheart's Bay. So me taking camps actively aids in us winning the match by getting the coins. And as long as I can hold on to the coins and get them turned in, it could lead to a victory. Or at least it'll keep us up with them in experience. Level 16. This is where we get to pick my favorite ability that I never pick. You get a spinning hammer every time that you cast Condemn. And it just brings me back to those days of Diablo 2 with the hammered ends. If you never played Diablo 2, or witnessed the true horror that is the hammered end, what it is, they would just stand somewhere and they would throw their hands up in the air and cast a million hammers, and everything would just die before them. They were just a god of death. Throwing hammers everywhere. And I really love how Johanna has that ability to become a hammered in again. I went up there to check if they were turning in. Turns out they weren't. We caught an Ubrak out, but he has a lot of really good escapes, and he should be able to get out of this. Kerrigan coming in. Their team kind of trickled into us, and here I just break Falstad out. He's a lot of our damage. And Ubrak coming back in. But yet again, just can't keep up with him. Like, we won this team fight just because their team was actually separated for once. They've mostly been together throughout this entire game. And now when they actually trickled into us, we were able to take advantage of it. You know, Nova making poor life choices. You know, if you're ever in a position where a teammate just kind of goes in and dies, don't follow them. If you're not going to save them and live, it's usually not worth it. Or else you're just going to end up trickling in, and then you give the momentum back to the enemy team. Like here, we have the momentum in team fights now because we keep catching people out. It's really fortunate. It could have been a lot darker of a situation if they would have actually stuck together as closely as they have been. But now you can just see how fast we took that camp. Sure, it was a doubloon camp, but camps just melt before us, and there's nothing that it can do to stop us or harm us.
I go.
A little cautious here, because I figured that they'd be here, and I really just want to get these coins off of me. I don't want to commit to this team fight too hard, or else I'll end up exactly like Nazebo. Just getting chased out. They're pursuing really hard here. And I can't do anything about it. Our team is really disjointed. And we need to just fall back. They got Kerrigan, though. And Tyrande AI is now following Azevo. Wonderful. Yeah, it's really unfortunate that we ended up with a bot in this game. You know, the momentum has shifted right back to the enemy. And we really are on the back foot again. It's looking really bad. They're about to get a level on us. And here I just kind of go for what this build is for, which is pushing things back and putting pressure on the map. I really like this build simply because it feels like you're playing a specialist. And I love specialists. Out here. Perfect example. They got one hit in. I mean, right here I could blind them, but is one more hit really going to matter? I mean, I got full healed from that regen globe.
Befriend these mercenaries.
Yeah. Right now our only hope kind of is to win through objective. And we need to... If we try to fight them, we're probably going to fail. Simply because we have an AI. And... You know, this is not the best build for team fighting. You don't get the most damage, you don't get the most team utility or survivability. You're just really good at killing mercs. Yeah. Don't let those things dissuade you from playing this build. It's actually a lot of fun. Nova, again making poor life choices, manages to walk right back into me. I mean, she's kind of like giving us these kills. I think that she felt bad for us. Yeah. Like, even though this was such a disjointed team fight, it didn't turn out spectacular for us. We did get 3 kills. But we did lose Falstad. We'll get the turn-in. And you can see on the minimap, those mercenaries are putting in work. You know, we grabbed them and the team decided to deal with us instead of deal with them, and a few positional errors led to them not being able to win the team fight. Now, I wanted this. It's really easy to get greedy and overextend because you want all the mercenaries, you don't want just some of them. Luckily, the team is able to kind of protect me. Also, I have the Indestructible. I normally pick up Indestructible when I'm in a pug match, especially if it's quick match, simply because you living is normally better than giving some, like the Storm Shield. Sometimes your team doesn't group up, and a lot of times you'll end up with against a team that has a lot of squishies. And Storm Shield doesn't help people like Falstad or Murky or Tyrande. It gives them some benefit, but it's based off your maximum health. And you having a double health bar is always going to be better. Now, instead of stopping the turn-in, I went straight for the chest, because I really just want those coins. Burning Rage also helps with taking coins from the chest. Just get a little bit faster. Now they're all down there, and I'm looking to see if I can help the situation. Like, they're outnumbered. It's looking good for us. And Murky's using his ridiculously overpowered combo, and Nova is just in not a good position. Like if she would have positioned slightly better in these team fights, I don't think we could have won this game. Yeah, I think we would have been in a much worse position. Here we go, just initiate right on top of everything. Try to keep Falstad alive. And Tyrande bot pushing the bottom lane. But, you know, Hammerdins, they kill everything. They just throw hammers. I still love that ability. I wish they didn't put it against... Yeah. Abilities that are so good. They put it against Imposing Presence and
Let's show your enemies.
and Holy Renewal. I mean, you can't justify picking this except for fun. And that's what this entire build really is, just fun. Now here they're kind of pushing in, and their whole team was dead. 2 of them are up now. And I'm just still going after coins. Probably don't need to at this point. It'd probably be better just to push down their core. But it's always great to have a contingency plan. Especially since one more turn in could do them in if we push with it. Yeah. What makes this build a lot weaker than choosing a specialist to do it is simply, like, you can't solo boss or anything ridiculous like that.
Let's befriend these
Other
mercenaries.
people that excel at taking mercenary camps, like Zagara or Gazlo, can actually solo bosses by themselves. Sonya can also solo bosses with her Wrath of the Berserker ultimate. It's actually sort of insane. Diablo helping ever so slightly, and now I'm at the battle of attrition.
Let the heavens wrath fall.
Yeah, that kind of helped me right there. I think I would have died if he didn't do that, but now you can just see the versatility of this ultimate. I'm out of there. Yeah. If I had Blessed Shield, I probably would be dead. Or at least in a bad spot. But I got out, I was able to reposition. And now I can come back in here. If they try to go back in on me, I got my Indestructible up. I'm not in a position where I should be worried about dying. My mana is low, however, so I'm not doing too much. I'm mostly just getting Burning Rage working. Yes, Johanna is very scary. Yeah, in that team fight, all I really did was stand there. And it worked. It worked out.
I go.
You know, sometimes you just gotta stare down the enemy. I
Let's
hear
befriend these mercenaries.
they're basically all dead. And one turn-in would just win the game. Or we could push. But, you know, this is a build focused around grabbing minions, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to grab these minions and I'm going to turn it in, and that's how I want to win the game. Alright, unfortunately, the team doesn't agree with me. I'm going to turn in anyway, though. I don't have enough coins, but this is still going to be a win to the game. Victory for making friends. Made a lot of friends this game. Whole lot of them, whether they wanted to or not. And I got their money. Alright, let's just take a quick look at the stats. Yep. Highest siege damage. That's what you should expect from this build. Moderate hero damage, really. Alright, but that's going to be it for this video. I'll make sure to put the build down in the description. Go on, try it yourself. It's pretty fun. Anyway, have a great day, and till next time.